Well, hello there! This video is made thanks to youmko.com who provided me the set for this here video review. If you don't know, youmko.com is an internet store that is selling all kinds of really cool looking building block sets. They have warehouses in China, Europe and USA, so follow the links in the video description and check out them yourself. But now let's take a look at what exactly did they send me. Well, they sent me this giant bag. Well, this bag contains Han's Mazda RX-7 VeilSide Fortune from Fast and Furious movie franchise, and this is a mock set designed by Artemy Zotov. At the time of making this video, this here set is on sale at youmko.com for roughly around 67 euros plus shipping, and I mean, it is not the cheapest thing ever. However, as you can probably tell by just looking at this bag, this set is massive. It has more than 3,000 pieces and I am super excited about constructing it. So let's open the bag and see what is on the inside. And the answer, of course, is huge pile of small bags containing all the parts, and yeah, we even have wheels outside of the bags. And yes, there is no physical manual because that is sent digitally. However, right now there isn't much else I can tell you about this set because I haven't built it yet. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now, and then we will look at it, we will judge it, and I will tell you all about it. Ooh, it is complete and it is very big. I mean, it is the largest set that I have ever built, and it shows because it took me more than 20 hours over multiple days just to complete this thing. But that being said, the experience was absolutely awesome, and the complexity of this build just added to the fun. So, where do we even begin with description of it? How about I start with the way it looks, as this is probably the easiest thing to show you. So, for me, the first thing that is really noteworthy is the fact that all the design features are achieved just by using the bricks with no stickers or paint job on the model. And I list that as number one positive thing for me because you know my attitude towards stickers on building blocks. I just don't like them. So if we take a look at the body of the car, we can see that we have this black line going all over its body. We have nice looking front lights. Yeah, if I only can show them on camera. And here on the front hood, we have these air vents that once again are achieved by adding physical blocks and not by some sticker. And I really like that about this design. Next, on the side, we can see that these doors actually have a nice depth to it. This black line goes much deeper than the orange one on the top, and it's a really nice a 3D thing. And if you look at the back of the car, even spoiler has some extra supports just to add some realistic detail to it. And yeah, we also have a nice exhaust pipe over here. Overall, I must state I absolutely love how this thing looks. As for the moving parts for this car, we can open back of the trunk and it will actually stay open because of the really nicely designed hinge system over here. Then of course we can open both of the doors, and they even have this nice lock system that you can see on a camera right now. There is a stick for shifting gears on the inside of the car. Coming back to the doors, one thing I can mention is that they do not feel very sturdy. I mean, they are not falling out or anything. It's just that they feel a bit wobbly when they are opened. Next, we can steer the front wheels by twisting this knob over here, and it moves the steering wheel and the front wheels at the same time. Next thing I can mention is that all wheels have suspension. And finally, I can open the front hood, under which we can see this engine, which is beautifully crafted with like extra bits on it just for show. Oh yeah, and we even have this like stick to hold the front hood opened. But now let's talk about the block quality that we got over here. The plastic feels nice. It doesn't feel fragile or sharp. Overall quality of the bricks is also really good. I didn't have any extra plastic like leftovers or weird mold marks on the bricks. I also wanted to mention that there is a tiny bit of variation in block sizes. However, it was not preventing me from completing the set, as you can see, and none of the parts were like straight out falling out of their places. One type of pieces I wanted to mention specifically are these little blue things, as many of them were actually a bit tight to fit when it comes to their like cross beam parts. It wasn't too bad, however I needed to apply some more force to them, like if I compare it to the rest of the pieces in this set. But overall, as I said, the brick quality for this set is actually pretty good. But now let's dive into the detail of how it was when it comes to assembling this set and how was the instruction manual. First of all, the parts came in bags with no numbers, but they were sorted in bags by their kind. And for me, finding the necessary parts as I was building the thing wasn't any problem. And it actually made quite a lot of sense. Moving on to instruction manual, I actually did find few mistakes in it. Let's start with the page 13. There were these things you needed to assemble twice, one for each side of the car. However, instead of making them identical, as it is shown in manual, the one that goes on the other side of the car, you need to switch places between the blue 3 units long piece and the 2 units black one. Because otherwise you won't be able to fix this whole thing in place, as there is already this knob there and it needs an empty hole that is taken by the blue thing. Next, on page 74, it is incorrectly illustrated that this long bit with the jagged part for gears to grip is pointing downwards, but in fact for car steering to work you need them to be pointing upwards, so you just need to like take that part and flip it around. And finally, on page 83, the length of the rubbery piece is different from what you actually need in reality. Instruction says it needs to be 7 units long, and that is exactly what was given as a physical part. However, we needed it to be 1 unit longer to actually fit the purpose. But there was actually super easy fix for it, as I used one of these blue thingies at the end of it just to get it to the correct length. And the fact is you actually get quite few of these things as a spare bit with the set. I can actually show you like by taking this apart. As you can see, we have the like rubbery wire thing on one end, and I have this blue knob thingy on the other side of set 5, and this knob actually anchors in this groove over here, and then like the rubbery black piece firmly connects to it on the inside. Other than that, there were also few occasions where I had some knobs doubling. And what I mean by that is in a manual it shows, for example, assembling one part of the car and adding some knobs in it, and later on you assemble the second part separately from it and also add few knobs in there. But as you like try to put them together, you realize that there are like 2 knobs, for example, going directly at each other. However, for those cases, the fix is extremely simple. You just like remove one of the knobs and connect the pieces. I realize it sounds like I'm complaining a lot about this instruction manual, but all of these things were actually easy to notice and correct as I was building the set, so overall I don't think that the manual is bad after all. In fact, because it came in a digital file, I found it to be very handy because I was able to zoom in on all the bits and pieces that I wanted to see. Moving forward, I want to show you a very cool part of this car, that is the engine, and I have this clip where you can see how it looks on the inside if it is not like covered with all the bits like on top of it. In my opinion, it looks very interesting, and I might even call it ambitious for the way of how it was designed. We have these triangular shapes that are like covered and outlined with this plastic chain, and they are moving and spinning inside this chamber, and it is looking kind of awesome in my opinion. However, I also found that from time to time these inner parts would come at these walls or corners at a strange angle, and it is causing them to jam a little bit. And so as I was like spinning back wheels around, I noticed that there is this clicking and crackling sound like coming from them. But here I also must comment that I am not entirely sure if this is a design oversight or is it just me messing up the way how I applied the plastic chain around those like triangular shapes. And maybe someone smarter than me could like tinker around with this stuff and get it to work like absolutely smoothly and flawlessly. However, I also have to admit that it isn't bothering me that much, as I am planning to keep this incredibly good looking set as a display piece on my shelf. And speaking of good looking things, now I will like try to spin it around and show you it from like different angles. And yes, just by looking at it, I think they have really done a great job. In fact, I think this car is really a good representation for the car that we saw like in the movie. And here's how it looks from underneath. And right here we can see the hole where the gearbox is. And actually, I will try to show you that by like clicking this switch on the inside of the car. First it moves like in that neutral position, and if I flick it twice it connects to the second gear over here. So to conclude, this is a really large set with more than 3000 pieces, and it is like 1/8 scale to the real life thing. It is somewhat challenging and super interesting to build, and I had like ton of fun doing it. The quality of the bricks is good, and we even got like quite large amounts of spare pieces, which is very nice. And finally, the manual had some mistakes, but they were easy to notice and work my way around them. But the most important part for me personally is the fact that the final result is absolutely great looking, and I love it. That being said, I don't think that I have anything left to add if I'm not forgetting anything. As always, I was trying to give you as much information as possible to paint like a realistic picture of what you can expect when buying a set like this, and I hope that you now have enough information to make up your own mind whether a set like this would be worth it for you. And now again, I wanted to say very large thank you to youmko.com for sending me this amazing set for this review free of charge. And I can only encourage you to check out the links in the video description and visit their store. And you can also use code MILDCuriosity to get extra 14% discount if you find anything you like over there. And now I wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like and maybe write a comment. What do you think about this Mazda RX-7 set? And also maybe subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this, where I look at non-branded construction bricks, fake Lego sets, and all kinds of other stuff I find on the internet. Huge thank you one more time, and I hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye. Bye 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 bye. Yeah, I'm gonna lift this up. Ooh, I can do like arm curls. I'm gonna be buff. This is my new workout. Yeah.